Hello and welcome to this class of Principles of Macroeconomics. I am your teacher Muhammad Nadeem Sarwar. Today we shall discuss the aggregate supply curve. We shall discuss the three kinds of aggregate supply curve: the vertical aggregate supply curve, horizontal aggregate supply curve, and the upward sloping aggregate supply curve. We shall discuss what are the assumptions and reasons behind each of these and what they represent. Students, the aggregate supply curve shows the amount of output that firms are willing to produce at different price levels. This curve is derived from the behavior of cost of production, mainly the wages and the price level in the economy. Because of economic conditions and the time period under consideration, aggregate supply curve can be vertical, horizontal, or upward sloping. We discuss all of these one by one. First of all, the vertical or long run aggregate supply curve. This supply curve is based on classical thoughts. The classical economists believe that economy always remains at full employment. Thus, the output is always at potential level. They also believe that economy is frictionless. That is, all the markets are competitive and therefore prices and wages are fully flexible. The adjustment in all prices happens instantaneously. We know that both labor demand and labor supply are the functions of real wage rate. Labor demand is negatively while the labor supply is positively related with real wage rate. The equilibrium wage rate is where labor demand is equal to labor supply. As we discussed, that classical economists think that markets are fully competitive. Therefore, an increase in price translates into increase in wage rate and thus the real wage rate remains the same. Therefore, both the employment level and the output level also remains the same. This gives rise to vertical aggregate supply curve as shown in the figure. It shows the amount that business firms are willing to produce when nominal wages has fully adjusted to any change in price level. With this aggregate supply curve, any shift in aggregate demand causes price level to change while the output level remains fixed at full potential of the economy. Next is horizontal or purely Keynesian aggregate supply curve. Students, when an economy is in recession, the unemployment is very high and the wage rate gets to very low. In such situations, business firms can hire additional labor at existing monetary wage rate and thus increase in the level of output is possible at same per unit cost. Moreover, at a very high unemployment rate, employing more workers will not lead to a fall in marginal productivity of labor. So, the cost of producing additional unit of output will remain constant and therefore the price level may remain the same as well. This leads to horizontal aggregate supply curve as shown in the diagram. This idea is rooted in the Great Depression of 1930s and applies to recession period only. With this aggregate supply curve, any shift in aggregate demand causes output level to change while the price level remains fixed. Next is upward sloped aggregate supply curve. Students, we talked about two extremes. One associated with classical economists that output is at its potential level, and the other that explains the situation of recession. However, the actual economic condition that prevails most of the time is in between the two extremes. That is, the economies are neither fully rigid nor fully flexible. We study this in between aspect through upward sloping aggregate supply curve called short run aggregate supply curve. We do this by examining two prominent models of aggregate supply. In both models, some market imperfection, that is, some type of friction, causes the output of economy to deviate from its natural level. While both models disagree at the result, both agree on the conclusion. As a result, the short-run aggregate supply curve is upward sloping as it is shown in the figure. This short-run aggregate supply curve shows that for a given expected price level, the price level positively related to the level of output. Therefore, shifts in aggregate demand curve causes both the output and the price level to fluctuate. These temporary deviations of the output from its natural level represent the boom and bust of business cycle. Students, as I just told, there are two prominent explanations for upward sloping aggregate demand curve. Upward sloping aggregate supply curve. First of them is known as the sticky price model. This model emphasizes that firms do not instantly adjust the prices they charge in response to changes in demand for various reasons. Some of these reasons are: number one, sometimes prices are set by long term contracts between firms and consumers. This happens especially in case of firms which produce intermediate goods and their customers who produce final goods, or between the firms and their major buyers who buy in bulk quantity. Therefore, prices remain sticky till contract term. Second, firms may hold prices steady to avoid annoying their regular customers with frequent price changes. Third, sometimes there are market constraints which hold the firm from changing the prices. Like once a firm has printed and distributed its catalog or price list, it is costly to alter the prices. Last, sometimes sticky price can be a reflection of sticky wages between sorry sometimes sticky prices can be a reflection of sticky wages because the wage contracts set the wages for a certain period of time. For all these reasons, firms do not change the prices of their output abruptly in response to changes in cost. Therefore, prices are somewhat sticky. The second explanation of sticky price is imperfect information model. This model assumes that markets are clear, that is, all prices are free to adjust to balance supply and demand. However, the short run and long run aggregate supply curves differ because of temporary misperceptions about prices. This model assumes that each supplier in the economy produces a single good and consumes many goods. Because there are large number of goods in the economy, so the supplier cannot observe all the prices at all the times. They monitor closely the prices of their product, but less closely the prices of other goods. Because of imperfect information, they sometimes consume the change in overall price level with the changes in relative prices. This confusion influences deviations about how much to supply, and this leads to a positive relation between price level and output level in short run. Both the models can be summarized by the equation y equal to y bar plus alpha P minus PE, where y is actual output level, y bar is natural or potential output level, P is the actual price level, while PE is the expected price level. The alpha shows how much output responds to unexpected changes in the price level. This equation shows that the deviations of output from natural level are related to deviations of prices from expected price level. In other words, it shows that when actual price is higher than expected price, the output will be higher than potential level of output. The slope of short-run aggregate supply curve is 1 over alpha. As noted, the short-run aggregate supply curve shows the different combinations of price level and real GDP consistent with the maximization of profits by business firm. The short-run aggregate supply curve passes through a point at which prices are equal to expected price level. This is the point where long-run aggregate supply curve and short-run aggregate supply curves intersect. A point to the right of short-run aggregate supply curve indicates that firms are producing too much and that the price level is below the cost of production. Firms would boost profits by a decrease in output. Similarly, a point to the left shows the opposite situation. Anything that raises business cost, such as nominal wage rate, raw material prices, fall in productivity, and technology, will shift short-run aggregate supply curve upward. Similarly, an increase in expected price level will also shift short-run supply curve upward. That is all for this lecture. In the next lecture, we shall discuss the classical and Keynesian thoughts about long-run and short-run equilibrium in the economy and about the fluctuations. Post your questions and feedback in comments. Also consider subscribing the channel. Thank you and goodbye.